I think that leads us well to this question, which I know we've talked about, but curious to hear your thought. Is there in an ideal world, I would say, what time frame would you recommend for people to prepare for transition?
Yeah, I mean, I would say as soon as you know you're transitioning out. I mean, if that's 5 years early, start now.
Yeah.
Because what I see is a lot of people wait to the 6 month mark, maybe 12-month mark, um, and you have too much going on. Like there's way too much going on. Like your number one focus at that point is VA benefits and your medical. Like that should be your
Right.
focus. But while you're focusing on that, you're trying to turn in your gear, exit your unit, do like this crazy checklist to get off the post and installation that you're at, and then you got to figure out where's my family going to live, where are my kids going to go to school, like TRICARE or life insurance. Like there's so many things happening in those last few months of service
Hmm.
that it's very overwhelming. So if you can start years ahead of time, that'd be wonderful. Like I mean, I wish like you could start planning your transition after you graduate basic and IIT. Like, I mean, but like that's not, it's never gonna happen. But like
Right.
as early as possible would be good because you can figure out like what you want to do, which takes a long time. You can build the
Yeah.
path to get there. If you're missing some credentials or some education, it gives you time to get that. Maybe there's ways where you can intern for free to get some of that experience that most people don't have when they're leaving service, and that's usually a barrier because maybe you do have the education or the certs, but then you've got no real life experience doing that in that specific industry. That's usually where people miss out. So maybe you can gain that through volunteerism while serving, because a lot of people don't realize, but volunteer experience and work experience are both experience. So if you can show that hiring manager that, yes, I've never had a job that did this, but for the last 2 years, I've been volunteering my time at this company, helping build, tech systems or whatever it might be. But you can articulate what you did, and it shows that you have experience.
Mm.
You'll be good to go. That's what they're
Yep.
looking for.
Absolutely. Someone said they like the conversation, so that's great. And Bruce, I'm assuming this was sarcastic. Or we're supposed to negotiate the job offer. That's crazy. It is interesting though because I mean, I was never raised to know that you were supposed to negotiate or taught how to do that. I mean, I think it's not as common of knowledge as people might think to know, hey, there's room here, and how to do it in a reasonable way that's not going to lose you the offer. I mean, from a recruiter's perspective, I've walked a lot of candidates through like, hey, yes, feel free to counter offer, but like maybe don't ask for more salary and more time off and a signing bonus. Like those are all comp. Like pick one. If more time off is the most important, ask for more time off because that's actually the same as them paying you more. Like you need to pick the thing that is more important to you at this moment. Do you need more relocation? Ask for that. Like at least from the experiences that I've had, like there are better and worse ways to negotiate your salary, and you can blow up an offer if you push it too hard. So you need to do it in a way that's reasonable. So I don't know. Any thoughts on that? Any feedback to add?
Well, first off, yes, Bruce. No, but like, so Bruce and I are good friends.
Yeah.
So it's definitely sarcastic. Um, but you know, that's correct. Like you do need to focus on what's important to you. And honestly, before you're even at the salary negotiation, like you should have a good idea of like what the range is that is going to be comparable for that role. And then you should have a number
Hmm.
already in your head, like what is the number that you need for your family, like, and then what's the need like that you would like to have, and find that happy medium, if the offer comes in a little low. But you should also have like a walkaway number. And, sometimes I see a lot of warriors accept jobs just because they're happy they finally got an offer and they need a job. Um,
Mm.
but they weren't happy with that offer or with the type of work that they're doing. which just makes things worse because you're now stressed even more. You're unhappy with yourself and the situation, and you're just going to spin your wheels and do the same thing again and look for something else.
Mm.
So sometimes, like, just because the offer is there doesn't always mean you have to take it. Obviously your life situation dictates that, right? Sometimes we just need money. I've been there. I've had bills to pay. I've taken jobs that probably shouldn't have, but oh man, Bruce is killing me. but but yeah, it's a
No,
lot to factor in.
I hear that. Yeah, there is a lot to factor in, and there's an element of, which is a whole nother conversation we can have, we probably don't have time for right now, but the frequent job changes that can happen with a lot of veterans that end up, I think, hurting them more in the long run because of probably exactly what you're describing, of just jumping into something to have something that's not the right thing and not necessarily knowing how to find the right thing. And in the process of finding that, setting themselves up to look maybe a little bit different than they actually are from like the hiring manager perspective. So that's a tricky thing to navigate. I want to, because I know we're like pushing our time. I really wanted to give you a chance to quickly talk about the George W. Bush Stand To Veteran Leadership Program, because I know it's, a really prestigious thing to be selected for, and it's something that you just wrapped up. Can you just quickly tell me, what that program is, any high level takeaways, and just why you might recommend other veterans, look into it or consider participating in it?
Yeah. Well, first off, yeah, that was very exciting time of my life. I mean, I was honored to be selected of just 37 national leaders. So that was pretty incredible because they're very small cohorts. They're very intentional on like who they
Mm,
select, why, like the people that they bring into the room are just so incredible. Like, yeah, I often like get that imposter syndrome. Like every time I think about it, the whole time I was in it, just because I'm like, wow, like these people are exceptional. But it's a 5 month executive development leadership program. I don't know how they exactly classify it, but I mean, it was a really good leadership program that helps you grow as a leader, become a better communicator, and helps you like build strategic partnerships. I'd say like those are like the three biggest takeaways for me. And it's all people that are in different sectors, different backgrounds, but they all want to maximize impact for military families nationwide. So like we all have a common goal, but maybe we're working on different things within that. I guess its own little industry of military families, but um, it's a really good program. Like if you want to grow and develop, if you want to get connected to some of like the most elite people in the nation, like there's only 280 alum. Yeah, because it's
wow.
this is the seventh cohort that they've had. So if you've like ever
Okay.
thought about like professional growth for yourself, but also you want to, maybe you're working on something and you want to be able to take it to the next level, like that's the program for you, because you're going to be in a room with some very brilliant people that are connected, but most of all they really care about the community. So like you would think like, hey, I'm a really passionate person, like if you follow me on LinkedIn, I'm passionate, but like these other people all incredibly passionate about what they
Mm,
do, and it's just so like humbling to be in a room like people like that, because we actually have a private group, and we talk every day in this thing. Like there's
that's
this,
amazing.
so like every single day, like my wife's always like, "Oh, you're talking to your VLP people again?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I am." But it's just a really exciting like network to get plugged into.
Mm, that's amazing. Well, I'm so excited for you and everything coming up for you, between being able to participate in that and just the work you've been able to establish with the career coaching. And it's been fun to follow you on LinkedIn and just follow your journey a little bit. So, you're linked to the event. So if anybody wants to connect with you or, work with you professionally, they should be able to find you pretty easily. And really, really appreciate the time and just the frank chat. I know I put you on the spot a little bit, but I just feel like we were able to cover a lot of important, true challenges that happen at this time and that are really difficult, that unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people really struggle with. And so I appreciate you taking the time to share your insights and a little bit of your secret sauce. So thanks for that.
Yeah, no, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.